We're with Manuel Quesada from the Platform for Freedom Party of Spain. Hello Manuel, how do you feel today has gone?
My feeling today was wonderful. It's a great meeting today, great alliance to the all parties of Europe, not all, but the great parties of Europe, to fight for the identity of our culture. Was marvelous, will be here.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about the Platform for Freedom Party.
Yeah, Platform for Freedom is a new party, started 11 years ago in a regional party, Platform for Catalonia, and now it's expanded for 3 months, expanded in 15 regions in all Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We obtained more or less like 80,000 votes in the last elections, only in the regional area of Catalonia. And we are working today for the next elections of regional and Euro Parliament.
And you're striving to preserve the culture of not only Catalonia but the whole of Spain?
No, it's the culture of the whole Spain, of the all regions, and the identity of the all regions of Spain, and the Spain of a state, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for coming
over.
Thank
you very much.
Now we've come across two friends of ours. We've got Clive Jefferson, our National Elections Officer, National Treasurer, and one or two other jobs, and Charlie Whythe, our publicity man, graphic designer. Clive, let me start with you. How do you think today has gone?
I think it's went very well, Mike. I think it's went very well. It's what I'd like to get across to our BNP viewers. It's an alliance meeting, and nationalists have come together, self-explanatory, but we've came together in the joint cause against the European Union, against the federal state. And I think that's a real important message that I want our viewers to fully understand, that we're not here promoting the European Union. We're totally anti-EU, as you know, and it's refreshing to form an alliance with other people with the same views from right across the spectrum.
That's a very good point, actually, Clive, because we're not anti-European people,
no.
Just anti-European Union.
That's right.
Because we all want to be free to run our own countries.
That's right, and we've seen that today, and through the night and last night and networking again, which is where a lot of the work's done. And our counterparts right through Europe, you know, they have the same views, aims, ideologies, hopes and dreams virtually as we do, and it can be a very powerful thing.
And it was a very good day.
Very much so.
How did you feel it went,
It was
Charlie?
a fantastic day. It was very entertaining. There was lots of different speakers. It's so good to be able to pool our ideas together and find out what they're doing in their countries. Going through many nations throughout Europe have the same kind of problems, face the same issues.
I was particularly impressed at the growth of the Jobbik movement in Hungary, which in less than 10 years have got 43 MEPs.
Yeah, we've had several delegates from Jobbik.
Amazing.
Who had a lot to say, and
very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. 17% of the vote nationally, and like you say, 42 parliamentary representatives. But again, what's very interesting, all the alliance members, Jobbik included, the 42 members of their own parliament, same as the Front National and all the other high-profile nationalists across Europe. I'd also like to make it very clear, we talked a lot about election systems and how these people are elected. Britain's the last remaining area of first-past-the-post elections, and it's why we haven't got 42 members.
All the others are PR then?
All the others are PR. It's a very important, again, there's a lot of things that are obvious to people that work within the European Union framework, but not so much for our readers, our viewers and our members. But 42 parliamentary representatives in Jobbik, all of them on the list system. And we've talked a lot about the list system today, and I've done some calculations, and judging by the last national vote we had in the general election, if it was genuine PR, like the rest of Europe, we'd have had 40 members of parliament as well.
I'm glad you told me that. You read my mind. I was going to ask you that question, so well done, Clive. So we'd be in the same league
We'd be in the same league as them. And it's quite interesting because we've got our biggest breakthroughs with Nick in the Northwest, Andrew Bronze in Yorkshire, European Parliament, and that's only came about because the EU, quite an irony really, that we're fighting against the Tower of Babel, the European Union, yet it's imposed a fair democratic system that's allowed our chairman to be elected to the highest level.
It is. It's very ironic, really, when you consider that most people in Britain believe, falsely, that we live in a fair democracy, but we don't.
So, yeah, a lot of lessons learned, Charlie.
Absolutely.
A lot of lessons learned.
And we saw some great artwork, Charlie, that you've produced over the past year or so.
Well, this is part of the campaign of really rebranding the British National Party, bringing it up to date, in fact modernising and futurising, if I could use the term, coin a term, of the British National Party and setting the agenda for things to come. And
promoting solutions rather than the negative aspects.
Absolutely. Yeah, so focusing on positivity and what we can do to put things right, as opposed to dwelling on the problems that we're all aware of.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And I think it's one of the first interviews you've done with BNPtv, is it, Charlie?
It is.
Really?
Yeah. So it's good to have Charlie here and Charlie on screen. And I just, again, for the viewers at home, Charlie Whythe, man to my right, is literally personally responsible for the logo that everybody now loves and associates, the iconic heart, all the literature the activists put out, the I Love Britain, I Love London, the We Want Our Country Back, all the classic literature that we've been putting out, down to Charlie. And it's good to put a name to the face to the work.
We certainly have a team, so a small team, so I certainly can't take all the credit, but we have a very dedicated and hard-working team.
Yeah, but you've pulled together all of those those positive iconic images of Britain and put them all into leaflets, and the heart represents everything that we stand for, as you say, the heart of Britain.
It does. And now I want to get our people out there, because our people are our greatest asset. So we have had a photo shoot with lots of the delegates here. So with their permission, that they'll be featured on lots of literature to come.
Good, that'll be interesting.
But this is really the beginning. So of the whole rebranding exercise. So there's a lot more to come.
Well, thanks, Charlie. Thanks very much for your help.
It's a pleasure.
And you,
mate.
Clive, thanks very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Councillor Jefferson.
And Councillor Whitby.
We're now with our chairman, Nick Griffin, MEP. And we've had a great day today, Nick. And how do you feel it's gone?
Absolutely delighted with it. We had a little event for basically our foreign guests last night here, and that went very well. But today is just absolutely tremendous. I spoke with most of them. Everyone's really pleased. We've had several good events, but of course I'm biased. I reckon this is the best.
I do. Yeah, it's been a great day. And what do you feel the biggest challenges are that the Alliance is going to face?
The Liberal left opposition. They're absolutely livid that the Alliance exists, that we're eating into their funding pot.
Yeah.
So they're desperately looking to try to find ways to de-establish and defund us and so on. So frankly, we're battling for survival. And we have to have our applications for next year and our signatures for next year in by the end of September. And they're doing everything they can to stop us. So that's the challenge. The challenge is to survive to next year, to get our foundation established, which will further annoy them. It'll take another chunk out of their pot and allow us to move forward on several different planes, not only the political plane now, moving towards standing in 2014 on this pan-European list, but also to establishing the foundation as a parallel structure, looking at culture, big picture politics and so on.
And this funding, just for the benefit of those people who don't understand where the funding comes from, it's all the money's already been taken from the taxpayer. But at the moment, it's either staying in the European Union or it's going to the leftists and the Conservatives. And now we're going to get our share of it.
Yes, there was a piece when we first tried to form the alliance several years ago and couldn't initially manage it. I think the Times ran a story and they said, well, the one thing we can strangely be grateful to the BNP for is by raising this issue. Because basically the old parties collectively have allocated themselves a pot of something like £20 million worth of taxpayers' money a year, which they then have secretly carved up, but it has been effectively secret, carved up between themselves near forever and a day. So I'd be delighted if the end result of all of this was they were to turn around and say, look, we don't want people like the BNP and so on getting money, we'll simply stop the whole thing. That'd be tremendous, and leave it with the taxpayers, because it's not justifiable at these times of economic hardship. The taxpayers had to fund political parties and politically inclined foundations. But as they are having to do it anyway, I'm very pleased to be able to say to our voters that we're getting a bit of a rebate back from your money, which would otherwise have gone to the Communist Party, to the Greens, to the Conservatives, to all these different people. We're now getting some of it back for nationalism. And this will allow us, the great challenge is to stand on a list in all the countries of Europe with candidates from at least 7 states, with half of them being women, because that's what we're forced to do, as we heard from Clive Jefferson earlier, and to stand and to build enough alliances with enough solid, decent people in each country so that we can cross the magic threshold and put 1 or 2 proper nationalists in amongst these extra MEPs to stand up for the things that matter to our voters.
And in terms of the European Union, we are anti-European Union and the oppression of it all and the fact that we no longer rule our own countries, but we're not anti-European people.
I think it's something, yeah, absolutely right. Very, very important to get across. One of the ways in which nationalism has been demonised, dehumanised, is to throw things back to past wars and say, if you're a nationalist, if you vote nationalist, you're going to fall out with people and all the rest of it. And the very fact that we can bring nationalists together and agree to work together in defence of common values, particularly the defence or the restoration of the individual freedoms which have been taken away from each of our countries. I think it's a tremendous thing to show the public who might be concerned that no, nationalism isn't about confrontation, conflict and potentially war. It's about people like us cooperating to get back our freedoms and get a decent deal for all our folk.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, it was a great day, Nick, and thank you very much for speaking to us.